Reluctant Entrepreneur, No More. How to Conquer Fear and Start Your Next New Thing by Randy Otterbridge. Introduction. What if I told you the real reason you're not better off financially hinged on one simple decision? Would you believe me? And what if I said you could change it all by deciding to do something right now? The book you are holding is chock full of reasons and solutions to what's been holding you back from living the life you command. By commanding your time, your energy, your talents, and your skills, you can create the next new thing with ease. And this thing could release you to a life of flexibility, joy, and happiness. Still don't believe me? Keep reading, because you're about to discover that lying beneath mounds of work and job choices is a smoldering, red-hot entrepreneur. That's right, you. Red-hot entrepreneur, business owner, the boss. But there's a very good reason why you don't believe me and why you're not already financially free. It's because, for some reason, you were a reluctant entrepreneur. Sure, you have dabbled a bit here and there, or had a couple of side hustles back in the day, or even threw your hat into the ring full-time, only to have it chewed up and spit out by circumstances beyond your control. Cue COVID-19. I completely understand. Been there myself. Got the scars to prove it. In the first iteration of this book, called Reluctant Entrepreneur, Going from Fear to First Steps Towards Starting Your Own Business, I pointed out some of the obvious reasons you didn't take part in creating your own opportunities. It was called reluctance back then. It was also called fear. But this time around, I'm helping you call reluctance out, to face it without fear. Still got excuses, though? Still procrastinating? Still filled with doubt? Can you honestly say your reasons are the same as before? Oh, and this time, please don't suggest the same reasons why you haven't staked your claim to the greatest opportunity in human history, to create your own job, to uncap your earning potential, to get rich if you want to. Are you still saying stuff like, I don't have the time to start anything, or I don't have the energy, or I'm not built for entrepreneurship? Cue the pandemic of 2020. You had nothing but time. The time off should have replenished your energy. I wrote this book to encourage you to step out and become greater and better than you ever thought you could. To try one more time to become everything you didn't in the past. Read it with an open mind, an open heart. Read it with your eyes clearly on the prize of a new life, a new way to earn a living. I've put it in the most digestible format for your reading pleasure. I've created the visual backdrop to enhance your experience. I've put in audio formats too, each with the idea of moving you closer to your next new thing. Your next new thing could be a business. How about a podcast to spread your ideas around the world? Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, get it to monetize, and receive a nice check every month from Google. Maybe you want to write a book of your own and brag to all your friends that you're an author. Perhaps you want to create a play or a movie and have it on hundreds of streaming platforms. Maybe you still have an app idea that could be downloaded and used in the metaverse by millions of people. Perhaps you have the next best-selling NFT, crypto token, or blockchain tech that will rise in value and make you a gazillionaire. Now's your chance. These possibilities are all the reasons why you should be out there staking your claim to entrepreneurship, all of which accelerated during the pandemic of 2020. Didn't that suck? The pandemic of 2020 showed us that no job is safe, that no retirement after 30 years on the job is safe, that no longer can we look forward to the gold watch at the end of our time at a company. That rug's been pulled out from under us. To some companies, profits still matter more than people. Doesn't seem fair, does it? And it's not. It's not fair that you put in all the time, all that energy, all that time away from your friends, family, and loved ones, only to have something out of your control throw all of your hard work down the drain. It wasn't fair then, and it's not fair now. But if only you made another decision, the decision to lead the life of an entrepreneur. What if you had staked your entrepreneurial claim all those years ago when I wrote the original version of this book? If you read the first iteration of this book, you'll have the spirit of what I'm saying here. Yet, this version takes you from the realm of reluctance and delivers you to the world of reluctant entrepreneur no more. It shares with you the shield against reluctance in all its many forms. Use it with full intention. Apply its principles, and promise me you'll be a reluctant entrepreneur no more. To find other ways I help you overcome reluctance, go to www.randyocourses.com. If you want to contact me by email, send messages to randy@ourbridgebusinessinstitute.com. Now, jump into your book. It's ready for you. Copyright 2022 Plus, Randy Austin Publishing and Media in association with Our Bridge Business Institute, LLC. Chapter 1. Will the real entrepreneur please stand up? The idea was to work for your company of choice, get to your 30 years, and enter retirement, right? But the companies have pulled the cord on us. Reality, the company doesn't hold and value you. There goes your job and your retirement dream. And know that striking out on your own would have been the thing to save your job. Own that feeling. If only you had more time. If only you had a supportive spouse. If only you had the right education. If only. If only you weren't a reluctant entrepreneur. The real entrepreneur in you is going to have to stand up and claim its life. Digging the same hole deeper never got me to another hole. So, your first step, dig away from the hole fear has given you a shovel for. But before you put down that shovel that fear makes you use, know this: fear has a destiny too. Chapter 2. Near and dear is my fear. The best way to overcome fear is with action, but reluctant entrepreneurs aren't acting. How many times, though, has fear been something that has saved you from you? That is, protected you from a bad plan you had your mind set on. Fear has been a biological mechanism to keep us safe from dangers. But what about when the quote-unquote danger is having an entrepreneurial life? Have adventure with fear. How many opportunities have slipped past your life because you were doing the safe thing? Quite a few, I presume. Fear can kill dreams, especially when you're already hesitant. Fear has kept you from pursuing those wide-eyed dreams. Why do I say fear can kill dreams, especially when you're already hesitant? So that you can feel its power but respect what it has done for you. Fear is a fraud we can thank. Thank you, fear, for transforming my life, allowing me to grow from a child to an adult. Thank you, fear, for giving me adrenaline to protect me from danger. Thank you, fear, for keeping me from saying what's really on my mind at the wrong times. What about bad fear disguised as self-consciousness? Self-consciousness is the hindrance of mankind. Bruce Lee. What does self-consciousness say? An entrepreneur. Doesn't that just mean that you don't have a job? Who does that anymore? All those years of school to just work for yourself? Why don't you just have a job like the rest of us? How many times have you heard your dearest ones say things like this when you're trying to be unique and different? But you didn't want to look bad. Your self-consciousness wouldn't let you. Fear is a bully. Fear has kept people from being all that they can be, from mastering their own lives. Fear is also crafty. The news is just one example of how reluctancy is created in the media to keep us safe and complacent. While some hear an opportunity, the reluctant entrepreneur heads to the safety of the sidelines. Make a list of fears, then burn them. Burn those can't-dos until all that's left is the ash of what fear said you cannot achieve. Fear hates mental matches. Fear can hide and bury itself in places within your mind and tuck itself away until the right moment to strike and fill you with reluctance. When a fear-induced can't-do thought comes to mind, imagine a book of lit matches chasing after that thought and burning it up. Fear loves you. Or does it? Fear loves your willingness to hang around. Fear is being terrified but willing yourself to the next step, as heard in Lions for Lambs, the movie. So, acquire fearlessness by willing yourself forward. You still may be reluctant, but your will move you towards success. Willing yourself to the next step shows the true power of will over anything. Will is going to help you face your fear of becoming an entrepreneur. Once you know that, you're going to succeed in whatever you attempt. You'll get a sense of fearless calm. You can be terrified of the unknown. You just need to know how to take another step. Chapter 3. Stop listening to your mind's voice, if it's talking trash. We cannot control the parade of thoughts marching through our minds, but we can choose which ones we will give our attention to. Picture your thoughts as people passing by the front door of your home. Just because they're walking by doesn't mean you have to invite them in. Gladys Edmonds. It's important to check yourself to be sure you're ready to stomach what lies ahead, that you can stick it out when the uncertainty arrives. Just remember, don't let your mind write a check your actions can't cash. You have to be able to tell the difference between mental trash talk and good common sense. If your mind's voice is talking you into something that you know your gut will not be able to fulfill, then it's time to check that mind in. Should you do something simply because the mind says you can? Of course you can, but should you? Are you going to put in the time and the sacrifice it will take to succeed? If you are convinced you can do this, then listen to what the mind's voice is saying. The mind is telling you that you are an entrepreneur. You might hate the attributes of having a job, but others need that in their careers. Don't fall victim to self-doubt, the mind's loudest voice. Self-doubt will persist, and that doubt will have you wondering if you can really do it. Remember, life is like a 10-speed bicycle. Most of us have gears we never use. Charles Schulz. The mind will have us believing that all we have to give is what we are already giving, that we have no more gears. That is self-doubt talking. Step towards a new kind of thinking. No problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it. We must learn to see the world anew. Einstein. We cannot get over the self-doubt which invades our thinking when venturing out in a different direction with old ways of solving problems. Similarly, we cannot believe the old way of making a living is going to be the best way in the future. Create an optimistic outlook. I may be an optimist, but I infuse a dose of reality to maintain a sort of balance. Having just a job is not a bad thing, but if your talents are rotting away for a company that has no appreciation for you, perhaps you're better suited for entrepreneurial adventures. What I am suggesting is to consider having an entrepreneurial side job. A side job allows you to explore your entrepreneurial curiosity. Follow your dreams. See your job as temporary. Light your entrepreneurial curiosity in such a way that you will do something now. Be optimistic. Dell Computers was created with just $1,000, and years later, Michael Dell is worth billions. Silence your self-doubt and think, why the heck not me? You have to make your steps toward your possible. Don't listen to fear or self-doubt. Win the battle. Put boots on the streets and become successful. Believe you will get to where you desire to go. Chapter 4. Wanters wish. Doers have. Which are you? It's true, people don't lack ambition, they lack initiative. As Roy H. Williams would say, people who prefer action, initiative, over daydreaming, ambition, will always be in demand. So, as you take steps past reluctance and towards starting your own business, apply a ton of initiative. Put some meat on your bones of desire. Get out there into the doer's lane. Decide to become more than just a desk jockey for Corporation A. You have to start figuring out what you want to do to get your entrepreneurial journey some traction. Look at your life and be honest about your abilities. Know thyself, bad attitudes and all. Fix those bad attitudes and help others to do the same. Be honest about your weaknesses and get help. Then move on to what you can do. Don't forget what you cannot do well and hire that out. Embrace your bad attitudes and give them a new duty. Look hard at the list of things you deem a bad attitude of your personality. Then imagine what the list would look like without any of them. Get control over the things that can, or have, cost you money. Recognize them, call them out, and ask questions about them. Do I still need these attitudes in my life? What can I replace them with? Can I put them to work? Think big. Take something that is holding you back and costing you potential customers and turn it into a service or product. Opportunities are in you. Fixing some of your own issues and helping others do the same can be the start of a wonderful opportunity. Look inward for a problem, start fixing it, and think of how many people could use the same kind of help. Get better together. I looked inward, found a problem, otherwise known as entrepreneurial reluctance, decided to fix it, and asked how many others are in need of some ideas too. We are full of ideas, full of opportunity, and full of want. Turn your initiative into a usable service or product. Get your tail out of bed. To get over wanting and get into doing means you have to get your tail out of bed. Control that one bad habit, and perhaps you can be on your way to getting past a wanter's wish into a doer's have. Ideas wait for no one person. They love actioners, that is, people willing to shoot now and aim later. Don't wish, act as if. As part of transitioning from simply wanting and wishing to doing and having, it may help to act as if. Fake it until you make it. See the end as you begin. Write what you want your obituary to say, then act that way every day. Create a picture of your actions as if you already did them. Chapter 5. Why aren't you hungry enough yet? Emergencies have always been necessary to progress. It was darkness which produced the lamp. It was fog that produced the compass. It was hunger that drove us to exploration, and it took a depression to teach us the real value of a job. Victor Hugo. Are you hungry enough? Better yet, why aren't you hungry enough? Why aren't you hungry enough to push past your fear and reluctance? Only in times of dire need do things get done. For reluctant entrepreneurs, hunger has been exactly the problem. Not having an emergency like a job loss, or being on the wrong end of an economic slowdown, or that emergency feeling that demands a fix could be the reason why some reluctants haven't stacked their claim to the entrepreneurial goldmine. Define your hunger. Recall a time when your desire has compelled you on, when all signs pointed towards failure. That burning flame of desire, or will do, wouldn't let you stop. What have you always wanted, but it just seemed out of reach? As long as you are motivated to take action, that is, if everything you want seems to be a need and the result is a burning desire to have it, isn't that okay? Reluctants will have to create scenarios by which they can whip themselves into a frenzy of activity, all in an attempt to create your type of hunger. Using fear to create hunger is a powerful tool to keep. As long as your mind keeps creating such scenarios, your wants, needs, desires, and hunger will merge. This merging will be the fuel that makes your entrepreneurial desire get moving. You may question, can I turn loose these emotions in a controlled way? A way so powerful that it can make me hungry enough to kick-start my entrepreneurial journey? Turn them loose by giving them a job. Some people need to push the envelope of life until it pushes back. David Lieberman on How to Change Anybody, page 75. And he's right. Life will push back if you create a kind of atmosphere, a kind of hunger that makes you hunt for financial food. Push your life envelope today. Try these. Develop a strong why position. Pursue your why position with questions that will make you understand your clear and decisive action plans, and make your why position an act on it position by pushing yourself to its very end. Always be hungry. Dig another well before this one runs dry. Always search for opportunity. Always remember that a job is not and will not be the only thing that can carry you to a life of satisfaction and financial success. Talk to friends and neighbors and notice stories of people close to them who are out of work with no other prospects and no other streams of income. You need to be hungry always. The big idea is to search for other opportunities constantly. You'll need to always be digging for potential ways to get fed, even in uncertain times. Don't wait until these are uncertain times, or until jobs are shed faster than ever, or foreclosures happen all around us. Don't wait until it's swim for dear life or sink with too much debt, not enough jobs, and low income weights around our lives. It's time to start putting all your irons in the fire of opportunity. It's time to get and stay hungry again, because our job tank is shrinking. The United States is losing jobs to uncertainty faster than its ability to create them. The job tank is shrinking. The reality is our jobs are being sucked up in a huge wind of global uncertainty. To combat this, even the reluctant entrepreneur must create hunger and your own financial food so a company can't destroy you by shuttering your job to slash costs. Shifting wants and desires happen over time. The things we once liked long ago become distant memories, even without warning or with any real reason why our tastes have changed. Yet some people continue along the same inertia that keeps us doing what we've always done. This points back to the same old thing: reluctance. Fight that inertia by satisfying the pangs in your soul, by listening to your feelings. What was is no longer what could be. We are shifting wants and desires. Feeding those hunger pangs can appear to be a life crisis to some, but this is just reluctance having a second stand. Thoughts to make us feel less than able. This must be ignored. These feelings of inability must be replaced with feelings of can do. When you are able to run counter to opposition, you know you are hungry enough. You will see what is really possible ahead. We are undergoing a creative shift. When the soul has a hunger, a call to entrepreneurship, it is asking for a different kind of food than it has been receiving from a 9-to-5 job. Don't you believe it requires a new way of thinking too? Act on the feelings you're having and don't let labels, which can immobilize others, distract you from feeding the pangs. You will get ready, do it, then adjust later. A pang that doesn't pass is real. When you're hungry, you have to feed yourself to end the growling. You can ignore it all you want, but does that make the growling go away? Not until you feed it. A pang that doesn't go away is real. Entrepreneurship is calling you. Answer the call and feed your soul. Stay hungry. Remember a time when you were so focused that the outside world didn't seem to exist, a time when distraction had no effect. Remember how it gave you confidence and how it made you unaware a clock had numbers and rules. Keeping yourself focused and fighting the pull of reluctance is going to take effort. How do I believe you can do it? Because you've probably done it before. It was something you've probably sacrificed like crazy to accomplish, but I bet you got it done. Mine for the successful outcomes you want to repeat. You do have the ability. You have the guts. You have the history of making things happen. You can stay hungry until the end. There are many tools in your mind to keep you hungry. Mine your life for motivation. See, touch, taste, and smell your way to a successful outcome. Share your ideas with others. Ask yourself, what deep, dark secrets nobody knows about you compels you to do what you do? The kind of secrets that can keep you up at night doing things none of us can come close to understanding. We have deep-rooted feelings that can motivate us to do strange and perhaps even wonderful things, but we have to know how to tap into them. The secret to maintain a hunger for entrepreneurship. Repeating a mantra to free yourself of your dark, deep-rooted fear feelings. To create the kind of motivation to keep you always entrepreneuring. Try using the senses of sight, touch, taste, and smell. Fully imagine yourself successfully building the imagery, layer by layer, brick by imaginary brick. Is something good being built? Next time you need a motivational boost, share with others some of the wants in your idea rack. Share what you want to do. Share the steps you have taken. Just share. While sharing, oftentimes you may get excited enough to act on something that comes out. By sharing with others, you have made your ideas real, out of your mind and into the world. By simply using this method as a means to stay motivated, more often than not, you will get more ideas. This will renew your drive. The reality is, you need to start developing the right type of hunger to start, maintain, and make a success out of more than one avenue of income. And that job ain't the only one avenue. For all of you who still choose to bury your heads in the sand and assume a job is all you need, let me warn you of this. The safety net is gone. Chapter 6. The safety net is gone. Now what? Safety is something that happens between your ears, not something you hold in your hands. Jeff Cooper. You want to mentally push back to motivate you to see how scarce jobs are and that you can create your own income above and beyond a job. Your safety net, job, career, is gone. And if not now, then someday. If you have mustered the strength to put it all together and make some bold moves, if you have enough information to make you dangerous, then it's time to go on the offense and get your snowball of potential rolling down the hill of possibility. what is it you want to do? Not what you're good at or where are your skills. Think about doing something that helps you, stretches you, or something that grows you and advances you. Recreate, reinvent yourself. Some skills are never dug into at a job. All the nuggets you can be never got mined, never came to the surface while working at that job. Come to the conclusion that your life could be more, that it needs to be much more, that the safety net is gone, and so much more is possible. Create a list of what you would do if you had an unlimited amount of money to fund your project. Ask thoughtful questions, then look at that list. What points stand out? Teaching? Wisdom? Health? Wealth? As part of reinventing, find out what direction or curiosity you want to go into and earn those opportunities. You can become very knowledgeable in a variety of fields if you throw yourself into what you're learning. Immerse yourself in this new focus. Roll your snowball of potential down your hill of possibility and make yourself stretch using all the tools that immerse you in the business. Learn anything you can and apply it to a new learned service or product or opportunity. Follow your own curiosities and gain competence and carry the confidence necessary to leave a 9-to-5 mentality behind. Replace fear with a new competency and a new you. Focus on the power of passion, the pull of curiosity, the heat of wanting to move in a different direction, a direction much different than you have been going while working for others. Put action behind the passion, reach towards curiosity, or take footsteps towards what's possible. All about doing. Men and women acquire a particular quality by constantly acting a particular way. You become just by performing just action. Temperate by performing temperate actions. Brave by performing brave actions. Aristotle. Chapter 7. What do you mean I have to do something? Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. It's easy to get seduced by your ideas, by your plans, by your want-to-dos. You must move to reality and become less in your head and more expressed to the world. Ideas don't move mountains. Bulldozers do. Stop being a reluctant entrepreneur and do something. Action, action, action. Doing, doing, doing. Do some work and know you can. Ready, fire, aim this thing until the end. Something has to happen to all that has been swimming in the pool of your mind, but nothing will help you better than the life preserver of action. You won't drown if you keep the legs and arms of potential moving down the hill of what's possible. Accomplished by doing is the best tool in building the new you. Being committed to action should give at least a good enough foundation for success. Realize that if you think you can, then of course you can, and you are your best safety net. Actionvating your ideas. This play on words is activating your new action orientation. Having confidence in your skills and acting on them brings opportunities for growth. Believe in the new you. Sometimes all it takes is a belief and then brainstorming the application for those skill sets. Once you start believing you can do your own thing, you can spring into action. Begin to believe and then act on that belief. It's the activation of your action orientation that leads to your success. The life preserver of confidence and action helps you stay afloat. See what is possible above the original reservations you may have. Shift from reluctant to reluctant no more in attitude and beliefs. That will give you action. Remember, nobody is going to buy something that is still inside your head. Bring those ideas to market. From your head to the marketplace, get people talking about what you've got and how good it is and how others can benefit too. Build your tribe. Who is in your tribe can start a fire. A tribe is a group of people connected to one another, connected to a leader, and connected to an idea. Seth Godin. Use a blog to create a tribe. Get people to see your ideas are worthy and showing them they will have a leader in you who will always stand behind those ideas. Use a blog to create a tribe. Get people to see your ideas as worthy and showing them that they will have a leader in you who will always stand behind those ideas. Building buzz builds loyalty and potential customers before you incur much cost. Show passion for your project or services. Show you will stand up against any comers and that you will push through it to success. It shows you have a committed focus beyond simply trying to earn a buck. You show the tribe you are committed. You show that you're a leader. As Godin said, build your tribe and watch your efforts spread. How do you create such potential? With action. Learn from your customers, then adjust and adapt to reconfigure the product or service to fit the needs of the people interested in creating buzz. Listen and learn to create something the people demonstrate they want. Get motivated and get into action. Don't let fear shame you into losing your motivation. Take action and try to reach someone, anyone. You simply have to do something, and that something is to inspire passionate activation, to passionate. In the early stages, just get people talking. Go to common community events and demonstrate your gifts. There you can hook them, reel them in, and create the buzz. You can even attach yourself to digital platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Reels, and others to spread your passion. Be sure to be passionate about your endeavors as it is noticed, because if you don't seem thrilled, no one else will be either. Don't have a careless attitude about what drew you to entrepreneurship in the first place. Would you buy from you? Many products are sold at all times of the day or night simply because the passion in which it's being sold. The passion for which someone can sell you will give the person hope and anticipation. The mental buying centers of the brain will ignore the logical, don't buy anything mind frame. In the book Neuromarketing, Understanding the Buy Buttons in Your Customer's Brain, Patrick Rimvoisie and Christophe Morin explain that being able to get to the buy areas of the brain, those emotional centers, is critical for marketing success. The passion from selling goes past the logic gate and into the person's emotional playground. Focus on the feelings of why the person should buy. Use feelings, quote-unquote, why, and not, quote-unquote, reasons. Why? Because people feel your passion, not logically deduce it. Deliver the goods, sell the emotional centers, and leave people convinced they must have what you're selling. If they love it and tell others, you are on your way to having others assist in selling your services. Branding you is branding it. In the end, it's really about selling you. You are going to be the brand. A large part of success is in how others feel about you, their perception of who is selling goods to them. You have to close the deal, but if you do a good job, long after the first sale, many more will follow. Passion will keep people buying time after time, year after year. Stay passionate about selling your wares, and your customers will still be passionate about buying them. This is the pivot point from which all your success can spin. If you are not willing to do and be about action, all else is lost. Be angry with how you have handled things in the past and be fed up with the status quo. Be angry enough to make some extra money owning your own business. Chapter 8. Are you mad enough to make some money? A vigorous beginning at business carries it very near the end. A wavering at the first setting out invites a call for misfortune. George Saville, Marquess of Halifax. Anger demands you do something with its power. Think of the last time you felt anger, how it made you ready to act, ready to make something happen. Remember that feeling? Apply your anger to your current employment arrangement and break fear. A vigorous beginning can carry you, Saville suggests. Harnessing the power of anger to get your business going is what I suggest. Use your anger to your advantage. Use your awareness that working 30 years and getting out is a lie. Make your exit from the bad bosses and never let anyone control how you can make money again by having multiple sources of income. Are you mad enough to make some money doing your own thing? But talking the talk and walking the walk are two separate things. You need something that keeps you pumped up. Anger can do that. While bad expressions of anger can be like a torch that burns too hot to save what it touches, used properly, anger can be like a warm wind that sails closer to monetary possibilities. Use your anger for good. Redirect the negative flow of anger to something that generates money. Put courage into your next steps. People say it takes so much courage to become an entrepreneur. I think it takes far more courage to work for somebody else, to get up each morning and not have something in your control. Helen Verstandig. For every day you remain stagnant, you lose more control and limit your earning potential. Don't let people or companies tell you you're worth X amount per year. Chapter 9. Hang up on the 9 to 5 and answer the other call. Carefully observe what way your heart draws you and then choose that way with all your strength. From a Hasidic proverb. Do it reluctant. Do it now. Get that business started. Get those ideas in the pipeline of life. We need you, and we need you now, not 30 years from now. You gain strength, courage, and confidence in every experience in which you really stop and look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. You must do the thing that you think you cannot do. Anna Eleanor Roosevelt. Get your strength up today. Don't let your anger go inward or be the owner of your choices. Instead, make it work for you. See to it that courage and confidence result from you doing what you didn't think you could. Ask yourself, are you really happy with what you're doing at that job? Do you really think it's going to carry you into your golden years? Can you really stand being told that you are only worth the thousands they are paying you? Don't you owe it to your life to answer the other call, the entrepreneurial call? The best check you can receive, and it spends better than any dollar, is the check of seeing a life transformed. Hang up on the 9 to 5 and answer the other call. Chapter 10. If you think you can, then of course you can. The real failure is not to fall short of all you might dream, but to fall short of dreaming all you might realize. D. Hawk. Dell, Gates, Buffett, Trump, all rich guys who believed they could do something interesting in the world. Now they're referenced in books, classrooms, case studies, and entrepreneurial discussions. The difference between them and us is they went for their ideas. It's never too late to be what you might have been. George Eliot. If you can get your mind around the fact that if you think you can, then of course you can, you would be unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable. Fear is the only thing holding you back from climbing the hill of possibility. Suppose you're a small ball of snow that wants to get big, your potential. Now, imagine a huge hill of snow. That's possibility. Reluctance keeps you at the tip of the hill of possibility, and your potential never gathers all the snow it needs to get big as it rolls. So you stay small. As Albert Ellis once wrote in A Guide to Rational Living, you largely create your own goals and values, or creatively adapt them from those you choose to adopt from other people. If you think like everybody around you, then you won't believe you can do anything different. You'll stay on the hill, full of potential and no confidence to roll and gather what's possible. So, what's it going to take to get you off the sideline of life and onto the entrepreneurial hill of possibility? You can't wish your way to success. You might have to do something outside of mere wanting to start your own business. Today, you are taking the first steps just by listening and reading. Continue this with action and move toward success. I thought I could, and I made it happen. That's why I know you can do the same. I have confidence in you even when you misplace it in yourself. I've been there, felt the fear of starting, suffered the pain of watching others prosper. I've researched the principles of how to get over it and applied them in an attempt to save you time and trouble, to give you shortcuts to help ensure your success. Be where your customers are, in social media, in groups, online, wherever. It takes time. It takes courage. But as you redirect your feelings toward what you want to do, know exactly how to get it as you point everything towards your goal. This is simply about designing things to run on automatic. Point everything toward the product or service that you want to create. Now, before you quit your job, focus on the details first. Get to your first steps toward freedom. Get motivated and inspired to think you can, to know you can, to turning the keys to of course you can. As entrepreneurial possibilities offer you hope of a new and exciting life, the realities offer you the flip side of that: uncertainty. The biggest difference between an entrepreneur and an employee is found in the difference between the desire for security and the desire for freedom. By Robert Kiyosaki and Sharon Lechter in Before You Quit Your Job. Before quitting your job, consider working it part-time so you can wean yourself into the entrepreneurial lifestyle and using the job as a source of startup capital. That's right, you're giving your job a job. Create a fear-buster startup fund. At the heart of reluctance is fear, and this fund will help give you some cash to fund the early stages of the company. Put reasonable amounts of your salary into this fund and don't touch it. Your entrepreneurial life may depend on it. Start thinking of your current job as a business boot camp training ground, looking for ways you can improve your own company. Start checking all news sources for problems to solve. Read everything you can about the area you'd like to go into. The Small Business Administration and the Kauffman Foundation are excellent sources for promoting entrepreneurial starts. Move quickly toward rolling out opportunities. As Charles Thompson puts it, not going after your ideas caused the idea to wither on the vine of possibility. That is, it didn't get marketed in a timely manner, and so the motivation for it died. Then others may pick up the idea and make it successful. Your good idea meets fear, and fear causes uncertainty. The result? No action. Keep that vine in good soil. With desire, planning, and a fear of losing the job-induced startup fund, combined with the ability to take quick action on opportunity, uncertainty will fade, and now it is time to cut off the 9 to 5. Doing these things keeps the vine in good soil until you are ready to pick its fruits. This protects the production possibilities and drives away the withering effects of fear-induced inaction. There is a freedom that can never be taken away, and that freedom is one of choice. That choice is to no longer be a reluctant entrepreneur. The choice to make your first steps today, and that lets you know you are free.